Oh, hi there. I actually read this story a little bit last night, but I went to sleep, and I woke up this morning and I read up on the story of the geezer who hanged himself from the Hangover. There's a joke right there. The Hangover. It's it's not what you think it is. I'll tell you that much. I didn't even know his name. I didn't watch the movie. I seen probably a clip or two, or maybe a meme or something like that from uh, YouTube and Facebook. But I have no desire to see that movie. Um, the Hangover is basically normalizing. I don't even know if this was a theme in all the Hangover movies, but it definitely was in one of them where they went to Thailand. And it's like, you're the exact type of people I despise, okay? I mean, I have buddies I've known from the real world who've gone off and done that sort of stuff. I didn't encourage them to, as far as going to Thailand goes and all the fucked up things that happen there. It's the trying to normalize and alibi the fucked up things that go on over there. So anyway, this poor geezer, Brody Stevens is his name or some shit. Yeah, that's what his name is. It, to be honest, when I look at his picture, I go, "This guy ain't funny." A lot of comedians have that look, actually. Anyway, I don't even know if he was in that particular movie. I would assume he has been. It's like I have no keen interest in watching that movie. Anyway, I mean, it sounds like cold stuff, but I mean, I didn't know him. I don't know him as, being a pleasant person or telling funny jokes. I mean, I knew The Hangover wasn't a funny movie or a series. Anyway, poor geezer, he hung himself. And, it's the crowd around him that, even though that's not what they say, they actually encouraged him to do that, as screwed up as it is. And you can't read a story on it on the internet or anywhere else and go, is that really what happened? Or is that, the story you're pitching? Because you're obviously not telling us things. However, I don't give a damn. I really don't give a damn. I didn't know the guy. I certainly wouldn't have encouraged him to do anything, but I do not give a damn. He, as far as I knew, was promoting the idea of going to Thailand and normalizing the bad things that happen over there. I remember something in one of the clips I watched of some Thai prostitute or something like that, and it's like, if you're trying to spread that ideological belief because you think that's what's best for the world, and that's alibying evil. So, I simply am pointing at that out. Uh, then, if he does the unfortunate thing that he did, I am not bothered. I don't give a damn. And I know some people are going to go, oh, that's so heartless of you, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? Plenty of assholes would say the same thing about me, but somehow, because I don't directly hear it, even though I do hear it, they tell me in a different way, really shitty things, and my situation's different. Except I'm not pro going to Vietnam. I fucking hate the Asians. I despise them. Always have, always will. Like, to begin to think of what everything is wrong about them. And I will say it. A lot of people, they don't got the courage to say it. I don't know. They grow up in today's modern day society and they go, well, that's not how I understand things. And it's like, you're wrong. Very, very wrong. And anyone who tries to cover that up and pretend it doesn't exist ain't no friend of mine. And I am not like those people because that comedian is exactly like the modern day type of intellectual uh, twerp who will do things for psychological reasons and will go along with mainstream media because that's what he was involved with. So he will have tendencies of being a hypocrite, of laughing at things that are inappropriate, and all that other shit. So me saying that I don't give a damn that he committed suicide is like nothing. Like I don't feel anything about it. It doesn't make me feel any more depressed. It doesn't make me feel anything. And had I watched this movie and gone, oh, the poor fellow had committed suicide. Hand me another brandy. It's off to watch a hockey game. I don't give a damn. I saw what little of that movie I did because I don't own it in my collection. I didn't download it. I simply watched the clips that are available on YouTube and the occasional meme, and that was it. I never looked at it and went, "This is a movie that I can find funny," and yada 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 yada. I didn't give a damn. And some people are gonna go, "Well, that's you know unfair of you. You're so ignorant. You don't understand. You're this, that, and the other." And it's like, the fuck is wrong with you people? This guy was a pretentious asshole who disguised that with comedy. I take a good look at his stonker and you can see what kind of comedy he's got. That's nose, by the way. And it's referring to one of a particular ethnicity. Let's see some of the quotes that we got here. Oh, okay. Uh, if you are depressed or feeling suicidal, please, 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 that's 5 pleases, reach out to anyone in capitals lock. This is movieweb.com. I never get to see Brody Stevens again. I can't stand this. He was inviting people into his hell, which he may not have discussed and may have even enjoyed, but that wouldn't be the same thing for everyone who followed him, his acolytes. Some would get it a lot shittier than others. And he would never explain that because then he wouldn't have a group following and he wouldn't make any money. Well, when he was alive, of course. And this is assuming he even did commit suicide. This is the fucking internet. Who the fuck knows what he did? Um, in fact, he may have sold some of his friends down the river and he's gone into hiding. May have been the reason. And he feels a personal connection to these friends, and it was a very tragic thing for him. And so he's saying that it was him who went through the struggling and the depression. You're kind of making up a story about a country that isn't true, and you're doing this for capitalist tourism tax dollars. So I would never encourage it because that's a disgusting fucking modern day pseudo intellectual fucking thing to do. Of course, behind the anonymous mask, that's what they're doing with. They don't come out and say it. They come out and say their simplistic rhetoric, and then they're stabbing you in the back when they're not looking, when you're not looking, not expecting it. And this is exactly the dirty fucking kind of tricks this guy had gotten up to. Because the thing you gotta know about comedians, and I don't know, I ain't no comedian, I ain't gonna try to be one, is that usually they're scum, they're filth, they're every nasty name you can think of, and they're not meant to be compliments. They're simply bad names. Some people take them as compliments. I don't understand how being called scum is a compliment, but some people look at it that way because I don't know. I guess they got some sort of brain neurological fucking problem. Uh, and he was acting in obviously in counterintuitive ways towards Western civilization. He had a very different perception of what was right and wrong and what would strengthen you know um, he had a different ideological belief system, and I can't say that other people who had gone through a similar path to him would think differently. But that still doesn't mean that they're still wrong. It doesn't matter. You can wave a Bible in front of your hand. You can do this. You can do that. And it's like, well, gee whiz, you're putting a smiley face on a situation that's not quite like that. No, no, no. And you're encouraging people because you want to smooth things over to go to hell, essentially. And it's like, you want to do that? You keep your mouth fucking shut. And to be honest with you, I don't think he committed suicide. He looks like a kind of weaselly rat who would say he did and just disappear. That's really what it is. Um, he doesn't have that look about him like he's scared or anything like that. I mean, there are plenty of reasons to be scared. I mean, you could be locked up in a dungeon where you're getting raped every fucking day in a horrible fashion in Thailand. Yeah, that happens. So if you're encouraging tourism over there, then I'm sorry, you deserve to be punished to whatever extent. And if it were up to me, it'd be case by case, of course, because some people don't know that's what they're doing. But I wouldn't be polite about it. I'll tell you that much. And he had a lot of friends, so whether I see these comments or not, I don't expect this to get positive feedback. I mean, I do not endorse or promote suicide in any way. I don't. I really don't. Because I know how nasty it is. In fact, I have people on my social media, I don't do it that often, but they do it enough where they're encouraging it, where I go, I don't want to be anything like these fuckers. I don't want to be someone who's disguising evil with comedy and inviting people to go to hell with them. It's like you gotta know what bag you've got when before you open it. It shouldn't be a surprise to the ignorant minded. And this slime ball was worse than somebody who was ignorant who went, well, look, everything here's not so bad. He knew the bad, he knew the nasty, and he tried to mellow it out in his movie. I don't even know. I think it was only one hangover movie where they went to Thailand, and he tried to mellow it out. So it's like, even if someone a little bit more knowledgeable, a little more intelligent, will go, "Oh, it's not so bad," and then it all trickles down. The intellectuals of lesser quality push down on the ones of even less, 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 and then over time, that would have had the effect of completely disguising all the fucked up things that happen over there. So he encouraged people to go to a place that isn't safe. It doesn't matter if people go there, come back, and say, I had a wonderful time. It was all, smiles and sunshine. How Asians smile with their fraudulent smiles, those big, fat, phony smiles they have. Like they're smiling to your face, but they hate your guts. And I mean, you can't necessarily blame them because they're losing in the economic war, but you can say, I'm not going to put myself in a compromised position because things aren't fair for you. And this cocksucker tried to disguise the evil. If he had his way, he would tell people it didn't exist, but he knows no one would believe it. So what he did was try to mellow it out. Go, well, here it is. I'm presented in a comedic way, blah, 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 blah. And everything's all good, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, you're an asshole. There are a lot of things wrong with you. And I don't feel bad that you offed yourself. I don't. And as I said, I would not have encouraged it. That's not my style. That's not about that. I don't agree with doing anything like that. He wouldn't have, though. This Brody Stevens character. I have no interest in learning about it, and I don't give a damn about his problems or his worldly wisdom because I don't see any worldly wisdom from people who think like that. You're alibiing fucking bad people. And if you think that tourism is that important, that people should get to go to the jungles of the world, and that proves how tough we are and how the normalification of globalization is a possibility, then you are deceiving the people into believing something that is never going to be true. And it's not someone like me that promotes that kind of shit. It's not me who enforces that ideological belief. These people who do these sort of things are very encrusted in their belief system. And when they start deceiving people, supposedly for the greater good, quote unquote, or whatever the shit reason they did it, excuse me, if things didn't work out for you for whatever reason, that is your fucking problem. You want to go out with cheap prostitutes and fucking go to a smelly jungle filled with fucking horrible people and, fucking monsters of every kind, mostly from the government and things like that, then you go ahead and do that. But you don't not urge other people to do it. Um, yeah, well. So, Brody Stevens committing suicide. I would not have encouraged him to do it, but I do not give a damn that he did it. Not in the slightest. Uh, and I believe that is where the line is drawn, where right and wrong is. Because a guy like Brody Stevens, he wouldn't have thought the same thing. He was inviting people to go to Thailand where nasty things have happened to white people. So, oh well, that's, you couldn't have stopped an asshole like that from going over there. So, what could you do? Some people are so set in their ways, they're not going to listen to people. And he was one of those people. And it came back, and, I'm sure it's a big, giant mess as to his cult of personality, how he's behaving, and why he ended up in that situation in the first place. And this is assuming he actually did commit suicide. We don't know that. It may have been some of his acolytes that did, and he felt bad about it. And this is him saving his own bacon because he has that look about him that he would do that. I'm speculating because I don't know. I've, obviously done my research for about, probably about 30 seconds, and here I'm at 18 minutes of my video. It's kind of funny when you, no, it isn't. No, 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 I didn't mean that. I do not want to think like those people. Those people are trash. And, a lot of people aren't going to understand that. They're going to go, I grew up watching The Hangover. It's a great movie. That's not the story of Thailand that I heard. I heard of peace and tranquility and good food and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, um, your perception isn't always the truth. And if you're spreading your perception that isn't actually the truth, then there's something wrong with you. But the thing is, some people go, well, what if Iron Drag? What if myself? What if my perception is not true, even though it isn't? But what if it isn't? And I'm too set in my ways to accept it. The thing is, we already live in the Western civilization. So we're fucked anyway. Why go somewhere else to get fucked? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That whole argument is flawed to such an extent. And it's like, but that's racist to think that going to Thailand is unsafe. No, they have an underground gang that's vicious, violent, and will do anything to anybody. So, I'm actually doing people a favor by going, hey, man, you better consider that before you go over there. I mean, if they're too set in their ways, they're not going to listen to me, then, that's their prerogative. But, if you got assholes promoting it, then I'm sorry, you got what you deserved. Um, anyway, I've been callous enough on this subject. It's never a good subject to talk about, but it's just like I don't know what can I say to a modern day Canadian? You know, one of them pretentious, friendly to your face, says nasty things about you to their friends, and it becomes fact whether it was the truth or not kind of people. You know what I'm talking about, right? People who are also jostling for position within society, which means tearing you down and all that kind of stuff. Um, what am I saying? I'm calling you a filthy fucking hypocrite, and I actually, in my honest opinion, believe that I'm better than you. Um, yeah. So anyway, not likely I'll change my opinion on this. I mean, I'm receptive to new ideas, but you're gonna have to be damn clever about it, and it's like almost impossible. Um, yeah. So anyway, rest in peace, Brody Stevens, for what it's worth. Even though he wouldn't have said the same thing about me had he been alive. Anyway, talk to you people later. And don't give money to economies that are trying to sabotage Western economies, whether you know it or not. And that means buying stuff from Asia. And if you do that, then what can I say? You're a piece of trash. You're garbage. Why don't we relocate those people to, I don't know, that floating thing in giant plastic in the middle of the Atlantic or Pacific or wherever the fuck it is? I heard it was the size of Texas. I think they do quite well there. It's a simple suggestion. Anyway, yeah, talk to you creeps later. Fuck off.